Suicidal at work. Charity Ripple calls on businesses to put mental health on par with fire safety. Well, Alice Hendy set up the charity after losing her brother in 2020, and Ripple is an internet tool which intercepts searches for suicide-related terms. She's been telling me more.
I unfortunately lost my brother Josh to suicide on the 25th of November 2020, and soon after his passing, I discovered that he was looking at some really harmful material on the internet, not only around how to end his life, but he was even provided with tips, encouragement, and so on to help him make a decision. And it was exactly a month after I lost Josh that I decided I needed to make a difference and stop this happening to any other families. So as a result of that, I've set up my charity called Ripple Suicide Prevention, Ripple spelt with a semicolon.
How does Ripple work? What does it do?
Ripple is a piece of technology. It's a browser extension. It can be downloaded now on Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Opera browsers. And once downloaded, it means that if somebody was to then conduct an online search relating to the topic of self-harm or suicide, the technology would intercept that search and instead provide that person with a message of hope that things would get better, and signpost them to a selection of mental health resources that they can access both now and in the longer term.
You've been working on this for some months now. Recently, we have seen in the press Molly Russell's father, of course, talking about changes to be made from social media giants. What's your take been on this? And of course, I imagine you support the drive that he's putting in, but what more do you want to see?
Absolutely. Ripple and our complete team behind the charity are fully behind Ian Russell and his family, and completely back everything that came out of the inquest from Molly's passing. What we're looking to do also is go one step further and actually call on legislators and workplaces to make suicide prevention mandatory and entrench it into existing health and safety policies. If we take a typical workplace now, fire drills, marshals, common practice, fire signs have been a legal requirement for years and years. But the UK does not at the moment monitor, investigate, regulate, or even legally recognise work-related suicides. And a person is 62 times more likely to die from suicide than in a fire. So more needs to be done, and we're supporting Ian Russell and his family, not just from a social media perspective, but actually also from a workplace responsibility perspective as well.
Well, speaking of those workplace stats, you found that 1 in 4 have felt suicidal at work. That is a staggering number.
It's horrific, and I think it just demonstrates, doesn't it, the huge problem that we have in this country and indeed beyond. More needs to be done to protect them, to safeguard them, to make sure that they know that there's people and resources there that can support them. And downloading Ripple and deploying Ripple is definitely a start to make that happen.
You've set up the charity in the face of a very hard time for yourself. How has setting up the charity helped you get through what you've been through?
I would go as far to say that this charity and everything it stands for has probably saved my life. It's given me a purpose. It's given me a reason to get up in the morning. And the statistics that have come off of the back of our technology keep me motivated every day. So we're approaching 1 million downloads now in just over a year. It's intercepted over 4,500 genuine harmful online searches. And these aren't searches for mental health or well-being. These are searches where people are typing in how to end their life. And even though the tool doesn't track or monitor any personally identifiable information, we've had 24 people approach us directly to tell us that they are still here because Ripple intercepted them at their most vulnerable point. So that's 24 people that perhaps are getting support and not feeling how my brother was feeling. And that's 24 sisters out there that don't wake up in the morning and feel how I feel.
There we are, Alice Hendy there from Ripple. And sticking with mental health awareness, particularly in a work environment, Daniel Sybil will be with us after the break as he's taking on a year-long challenge to raise money for a mental health charity following his own battle.